What's happening, everybody, and welcome to episode 39 of the Good Kraken podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ernell Pearson, alongside my little Thai peanut. It's Xander. What's happening, baby? How you doing?
What's up? What's going on?
We're out here. I'm drinking rain today because I'm extra tired. I got maybe like 4 hours of sleep last night. I was up late doing stuff. Wow. Yeah, I know. So I'm
what kind of stuff? You want to elaborate?
Well, so I was dancing in my room. More than likely
to Hillary Duff, right?
No, actually, I want to dance with somebody. Okay. Potentially stark naked. Sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes you just got to do it.
I'm gonna need video evidence of that just to verify.
For sure.
Validity of the story.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can verify it does check out. I'll have to have you contact my lawyer, Devin. Brevin, the dude. He can clarify that. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard he's also known as the 5-star man.
Yes, he is the 5-star man. You are correct. Yeah, 5 stars because he's such a good lawyer. I think is the better way.
Okay.
Yeah. He's my representative. He could be your representative too. You know what I mean? He could be a 5-star man for Xander as well. You know, then you too could also dance in your room naked to the hit song "I Want to Dance with Somebody." You know what I mean?
You know, that's a pretty good idea. Except I already do that.
Oh, perfect. Well, then you don't need a representative. And for all of our viewers and listeners at home, things look a little bit different here because instead of me and Devin, or me, Devin and Garrick, or me, Devin and a guest, or what have you, we have today me and our baby boy here at Xander to throw the thing down. Devin had an unfortunate fishing accident, and he is currently in the hospital with 4 broken limbs. He has 4 broken limbs.
He took Sea of Thieves a little too seriously there.
Yeah. He was fishing. He said "yarg" and just fell off the boat. A shark was in there. Shark attacked him. He defended himself like a real 5-star man would. And now he is where he is. You know what I mean? We hope he has a quick recovery because he's our lawyer. And we need you, Devin. So come back, please. I'm begging you. Xander, how have you been since the last time that we
I've been good. We had a nice little morning here. Sun's going away a little bit now, but I tried to get my little one to the pool today, which it was overrun by a bunch of other kids, and of
course,
let's be honest, I only like my kid.
For sure. Yep.
So we made use of the inflatable pool that we have out back here, and it was just fun time. It was fun time, and then we made some ramen, and now we're here.
God, dude, I'm so jealous of that ramen thing, man. I haven't had legitimate ramen since wintertime, I think. So like, I gotta, dude, like good ramen.
I'm gonna have to send you some boxes then.
Hit me with some of that Thai ramen, baby. Let's go. Because I haven't had Mama yet. You were mentioning off stream that it was Mama, and I haven't had it, but I've seen it like in our local Oriental store. Ooh.
Oh, it's good. It's good. That's the stuff I grew up on. Like when everyone else had like the top ramen or like cup noodles and stuff like that. My mom was bringing home this stuff from Thailand, and we would get it shipped to us from our family out in Thailand, and it was just the best. It's just night and day.
Oh my God, delicious stuff, my friend. But you know what else is delicious? The Good Kraken Show. Because today we're talking about Demogorgons returning from the upside down, more trash being taken out of the games industry, the most over and underrated IPs ever, and much, much more. Because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy, marginalized people, giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. If you're watching live, you can submit questions and topics at tinyurl.com/GK submissions to be a part of the show. If you're having a good time so far, you can watch us record the show live and ad-free like Big Husky is by following and subscribing right here at twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to give that to us or to give to the lovely Xander here to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening or watching at home. If you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, though, that's totally fine. You can catch us on our episodes on your podcasts of choice at 8 a.m. the next day. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the About section of our Twitch page and clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review. Xander! We have some plan to work, my friend. You can watch our gameplay stream for the Ascent from Thursday night on our Twitch channel as a VOD. I do not suggest it, though.
Waiting for that.
I'm putting in here for formalities. If you want to see what the Ascent looks like or plays like, you can watch approximately 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay on that of our total like hour and 15 minutes that we stream, because a majority of the stream was spent trying to play the game. And unfortunately, big yikes, the Ascent is still very much broken a week after release. So we are actually moving away from that. And next Thursday, we will be playing the open beta for Back 4 Blood. It's going to be a fucking good time. We're excited for it. We're excited to get a swing at it. It's going to be a damn good time. With that said, our last little thing here is please rate and review our podcast, specifically if you could on the Apple Podcast channel. That breaks the algorithm a little bit, gets our episodes into listeners' ears that have not been able to find us organically through social media. Please do that. We would appreciate you all so damn much. I do not have Devin here to give us Nolan noises, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit our Nolan horn! There we go. Cool. We are lovely. I'm excited for it. This is tight, Xander. Baby dude, we have some little waves, some little news segments here. And little waves is when we talk a little bit about some news segments that we didn't think we're going to be having very big discussions on. We're going to kind of hit by hit, beat by beat, go over these, have a little bit of topical, discussion over the top. So first off, Netflix's Wednesday Addams spinoff has its Gomez, and that is going to be from Luis Guzman. I don't know how I feel about
Guzman.
Guzman. Sorry, Guzman. Sorry. Yeah.
He was very, very integral in Community for me.
Yes.
So
yes. And just about every movie like part that he plays in, I just like, oh shit, I got some freezing on man. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. I don't know what's been going on with my shit lately, but it's driving me nuts. Anyways, every like little like side character he plays in like every movie he's ever in is like the most wonderful thing ever. Like I see him and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I love him, dude. Like he's great. But he rarely plays a main character. And I'm wondering if like this is gonna put him in a spot like that, because I know it's a Wednesday Addams spinoff. I don't know if that means he's gonna be not as important or maybe more important because it's his daughter. So like who knows? We could say. Husky says he lives in my state. Dude's hilarious. Oh shit. Husky lives next to Luis Guzman. Guzman. Dude,
did he teach you the Batwing?
Oh no, that's where we're going today. That's where we're going. Husky, please get a selfie with Luis Guzman and send and at that to us on Twitter, please. We would appreciate it.
And if you can get him doing a Batwing with you, that'd be perfect.
Beautiful, please. I'm begging, please. And for verification, make sure that it's not fake. I'd like you, Husky, to also be doing a Batwing. Anyways, so he taught me the Abe Lincoln. Jesus Christ, we need to not go here. We need to not go here. I'm sorry, Devin. I'm sorry. Rare Super Mario Brothers copy sells for $2 million as retro bidding explosion continues. So I don't know if you remember, Xander, but there's been a few episodes now that we talked about some of these retro games selling for a lot of fucking money. This broke the record again. The record for most.
Wild.
Yeah, dude, for most expensive game to be sold, it's been like 3 times in this year alone. Like $2 million. I am so upset I did not hold on to my retro games.
Right? I'm still to this day, I'm calling up my dad. I'm like, yo, why did you take all that stuff over to the Salvation Army? Come on, man.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck was I thinking just opening these things? You know what I mean? Even opening them. Like, I should have just held it and put it into a glass case. So for all of you at home, if you have children, please do yourself a favor, buy something nice, and don't fucking open it. Just don't open it, because you can be a millionaire in 20 years.
Yeah, screw enjoying it as it is.
Just leave it alone.
No.
Leave it alone. Yeah, exactly.
That's actually what I did with my my issue of Ultimate Spider-Man #1 when they introduced Miles Morales. It's still in the plastic. Like I never ripped it open and like read it. I was like, this is a big moment in comic book history, especially now that we have like Into the Spider-Verse and like the character of Miles Morales is growing in popularity. Like I looked it up. I bought it for like maybe $5. When it first came out, and I looked it up. Now it's like worth like $45. So I'm holding on.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. Well, see, I did the same thing with a Predator comic. I highly doubt that's gonna fucking happen with my Predator comic. Sean's in the chat. Thank you for the follow, Sean's, by the way. Same thing with my 200 plus original Pokemon cards when I was a kid. Rest in peace. Same. I had a massive shoebox, like multiple shoeboxes full of Pokemon cards. When I first moved out at 18, my fucking mother threw them all away because I didn't come back for them right away. And I was like, what are you doing? These are gonna be so expensive when I get, dude. One of the first Charizard cards, one of the first Mewtwo cards. Like I had all of the like starter decks when I was a kid because me and my brother and one of my sisters, like just all of them, all of it. I had a red version and a blue version of the Game Boys. Like my heart is broken, Xander. It's broken.
I'm there with you. My dad did the same thing with my Pokemon cards.
Oh my god. Rest in peace to us. Rest in peace to us. Our next one, Dead Space remake, reportedly aiming for a fall 2022 release. I know Devin is out there getting real fucking hype. Yeah, they put out some talks. Someone from the company kind of was talking some journalism under anonymity. And said, yeah, Dead Space is looking for a potentially like September of next year release, which is wild to think it's that soon. They've been working on this for a fucking minute then, if that's the case. I'm excited for more Dead Space. I'm excited for new Dead Space that's not new, but it is new because they're doing new things to it, and that is gonna be fucking rad. Sponsors drop Overwatch League after harassment lawsuits. I don't know if you heard about this, Xander.
Coca-Cola and State Farm.
Go fuck yourself, ActiBliz. I'm saying, man. See, the beauty of this is how we get reprimandation for companies allowing shitty things to happen within their companies. Take their fucking money away. Take their goddamn money away and let them fucking burn. You know what I'm saying? Let's fucking go, dude. I'm excited for it. Rumored Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 remaster does not exist, Activision says. My heart's kind of broken here because I was kind of really hoping for a Modern Warfare 3 remaster.
I'm on the flip side of that. Flip side of that.
Really?
Yeah, which I was kind of technically saving this as, and we'll go more into it towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But I think Call of Duty just needs to fucking stop.
That's fair. That's my 2 cents for now. We'll get more into it. Yeah, I feel you. Husky in the chat, as a Overwatch player who's had life changed from that game, fuck them all. Thank you, Husky. That's what I'm saying. Pokemon Go creators reconsidering rule changes after players threaten boycott. So, as some people have heard from prior episodes, Niantic had, during the pandemic, had rolled out a plan where they furthered the distance in which people could interact with Pokestops, Pokemon, so on and so forth. And now, after the pandemic is done, quote unquote, they rolled that back and said, hey, we're going to go put this into normal situations now, and people lost their shit. Mainly because the pandemic's not really over yet. And now people are saying, well, there's potentially going to be another shutdown. Like, there's all sorts of wild things happening. We need this back. You have any quick thoughts on this one?
No, other than the fact that, I mean, if they're reconsidering that rule change, I mean, are you saying, have they been considering bringing it back, or is it just that they pulled it back?
They're considering bringing back the bigger distance.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that's fine. Then I think, because from what I read about them, they were kind of like in that vein, like, okay, so things are getting back to normal. Let's add a little bit more normalcy to it and bring people closer together. But at the same time, they probably weren't thinking, oh, hey, there's this Delta variant coming out. People are still getting sick. Like Florida, their numbers were just astronomical in comparison to when the pandemic first started. So they probably didn't really put that into consideration when they made this move. So I think the fact that they're even thinking about, okay, people are pissed off about this, and we are going to just kind of just go back. Sorry, it was just a joke. I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. No, because the game started out with a 40-meter radius. During the pandemic, they raised it to 80. So they doubled the radius on it. And now they're walking it back to 40. And so Husky in the chat says, so the radius of the stop is being reduced. Just fucking leave it. My thing is, like, I usually am for just, like, video game companies doing what video game companies want to do because it's their game. It's their asset. They should be able to call their shots. My thing with something like this is, in my mind frame, I'm kind of like, okay, people with disabilities, right, have now been able to finally play Pokemon in a way that they can actually enjoy it because of the pandemic, and it just so happened that that sort of got caught in the crossfire. And now they're like, well, shit, I want to keep playing this game, and now I can't because I no longer have this access. Please bring it back so I can continue to enjoy this game. In my mind frame, it's for those people, I want them to keep it. And it's like, because now they have a bigger player base. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they even walked this back at all after the wonderful reaction they had from people about it. Who knows? I'm glad that they're reconsidering it at the very, very least. So our last little wave,
they're even listening to their fan base at all.
Right. A lot of companies don't. A lot of video game companies fucking don't. And it's good that they're even, really talking about it, at least. We'll see how long it takes for them to make the change, but at least they're actually listening. Competitive horde mode coming to Ghost of Tsushima. So this one is, I'm so hype on this one. So I spent a good 4.5 months being addicted to Ghost of Tsushima. And about 2 of those months specifically was the Legends multiplayer mode. And this is talking about the new Horde mode coming. There's also a new mode called Rivals, where you're doing a 2v2 sort of situation where each team has to take on wave after wave. And each wave, depending on how well you do and how well you defend like your area, will affect the area the opposing team is on by launching arrows, launching like slingshots, stuff like that, like towards them to damage them, and whoever lasts the longest wins the thing. But the big part, yes, in the chat, Sean's a goat of Tsushima for sure. The big thing is that they're now making Legends, the multiplayer mode, a standalone title, which is interesting because this could potentially talk about them wanting to do more things with the single player story, like port it to PC, things like that, but still keep the Legends multiplayer as its own title to be downloaded by everybody. It's completely free. And they're like, well, not completely free. They are charging like a $20 like base on it now. But it's $20 for a game that is excitingly addictive, has a lot of content now, especially with them adding more modes and such. I have a really good feeling about this. I know you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima yet, right?
Yeah. So I was Xbox, then PC, and then PC only, pretty much. So with any PlayStation exclusives, I'm kind of like in the dark.
So you haven't even played God of War?
Yeah.
Xander, you motherfucker. We're gonna move into
the
our
last
first
PlayStation exclusive I ever played was like Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, fuck me, man. God damn it. Damn it, Xander. We need to get God of War in your damn hands, dude. Damn it. With that said, we got other things to talk about now. We're going to move into our first official news segment here. Stranger Things Season 4 premieres in 2022. First glimpses of footage revealed. Holy shit, this is hype. This comes from Jared Moore from IGN, and it reads like this. Stranger Things Season 4 is set to premiere in 2022, but in the meantime, the Netflix-based science fiction horror series has offered fans a first glimpse of what's going on this time round in the Upside Down. A tweet from the official Stranger Things Twitter account has announced that the show will return for Season 4 in 2022. The short trailer accompanies the tweet, which gives fans a sneak preview what to expect in the upcoming season. The trailer itself features the return of Eleven, Mike, Dustin, Will, and Lucas, as well as a number of other cast members. Within the 30-second teaser, fans are treated to a short clip of Millie Bobby Brown's character sporting bangs as she's held back by men in suits alongside a number of other short insights. The words, quote, "something's coming," can be heard, followed by, quote, "it is almost here." Despite season 4's plot currently being shrouded in mystery, Netflix previously released another teaser trailer, for the show back in May, which appears to suggest that the upcoming episodes will delve deeper into Eleven's backstory. We see various children being experimented upon in what looks to be Hawkins National Laboratory. The children in the trailer can be seen wearing hospital gowns, the same as those depicted from during season 1 of the show, before finally cutting to a shot of a door marked 11, and the words, quote, 11, are you listening? The newest teaser trailer for the show features the same door in its opening shot, which only adds to the speculation that we'll learn more about 11's past next year. Netflix also confirmed that the show's 4th season will add a number of new cast members. The company announced back in June that the show will add 4 new cast members: Amy Beth McNulty, Vicky, Miles Truitt as Patrick, Regina Ting Chen as Miss Kelly, and Grace Van Dien, or Dean, whichever way that's pronounced, as Chrissy, will all join the show's talented roster. The new teaser trailer appears to briefly show Van Dien's character performing a cheerleading routine in a blink or you'll miss it snippet around the 25-second mark. Xander, is this fucking doing
dude,
it for
I'm
you,
so excited.
I'm so fucking
I'm so excited.
Let's go.
I'm so excited because Stranger Things, the best thing about Stranger Things, in my opinion, is the fact that it's one of the only shows that I've seen as of late that is completely original in its creation. It's not one of these shows that's based on a comic book. It's not based on a novel. It's not based on anything else prior. It is completely original, borrowing some, 80s themes, but still at its core is its own story. And I love that because it's not like I can be like, oh, there's that character. Let me dive into this comic book and figure out what could potentially happen next.
Right.
And so the fact that, we're finally getting more of this, because originally we had seen some stuff and then the pandemic hit and we're just like, shit, where's it happening now? Sorry, I looked at chat.
I know. It's okay.
But no, it's really exciting to see where this is going to go, especially after in a recent-ish interview, I want to say like a couple months ago, David Harbour, when he was still doing his press tour for Black Widow, he was asked about Stranger Things, and he had mentioned that within this next season, we're going to start seeing the pieces of the conclusion of Stranger Things. Not saying it's going to conclude in this season or the next season, but we're going to start seeing the wheels turn towards that conclusion. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
I also pay homage to the fact that there is a theory out there that Black Widow is actually a continuation of Stranger Things. The spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the last season of Stranger Things, what the hell are you doing? It's been out for quite some time.
Yeah.
But Hopper is found in a Russian prison. Fast forward to Black Widow.
yeah. Which is wild too, because Black Widow is a continuation of Ghost in the Shell. Fun fact. Yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy.
There you go.
It's wild.
That makes
sense.
sense.
One big continuous universe. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I am way fucking hype on this, dude. Way fucking hype. Like more hype than I honestly should be, to be real with you. Like it's every single season I just burn through it as quick as I fucking can because it's such a wonderful experience, and like they did such a good job on the story that like felt like at first it shouldn't have been as good as it is. Like I feel like the first time I watched it for the first like 4 episodes, I was like, I don't even really know what the fuck's going on, but I'm so like hooked. It should not have been that fucking good. It had no business being that fucking good. And then it was. And then I couldn't stop. And like it captivated all of us. And holy shit, did they do a fucking good job on this show. And I'm so excited. I'm excited to get more David Harbour. I know we covered it a little while back, but talking a little bit about like how not only are they talking about getting bits and pieces of conclusions to Stranger Things, but also getting a lot of bits and pieces about David Harbour's character Hopper and his history in the Stranger Things world. So that's really exciting too. There's a lot of really good shit to come of this. How many more seasons do you think they're going to do?
So looking at this, and this is the weird thing, because like most Netflix originals and stuff like that I've seen, it almost gets to a point where I'm just like, okay, they're running out of material, that it should just end, right? There's time and time again, you find that there's these shows that they had an interesting premise at first and then they kind of fizzle out. But Stranger Things is one of those shows that, as soon as I think, oh, they're about to fizzle out soon. Nope.
Yep.
They reel me back
Yep.
in, and it's so good. Realistically, though, I would say 3 more seasons.
Okay.
Because as much as everyone loves for their favorite things to continue to go on and on and on, I definitely believe in the fact that there is beauty in things because they come to an end. And I think for a fully rounded out series, I think probably 3 more seasons would be good enough for me.
Okay, cool. Now, when you say 3 more, do you mean 3 including 4, or like up? Okay.
So this and then 3 more.
So 7 seasons total, you think?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can see them doing 6. I can see them ending it a little bit sooner than that. I can see them doing like
actually. Now that you say that, how about this? 6 seasons in a movie.
Ooh! Let's go, Xander, bro. Hire us, Netflix, please. We're here for you. Like, we'll kill this shit, dude. We'll kill this shit. Would you like? We'll be there. Literally, just say we're doing a movie. That's it. That's all we're there for. We're not gonna write it because you all need to pay us more for that. But if you want to pay us more, like, we'll write some Stranger Things for you. They might absolutely not want us to write.
No, I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot more just dull humor.
just dad jokes. It'll be 2.5 hours of dad jokes from kids. Or not even dads. It'll be terrible. It'll be awful. Our second story here: Square Enix sales are up in Q1, but revenues in games categories are down. This comes from Danielle Partis from GamesIndustry.biz, and it reads like this. Square Enix has released its financial results for the last quarter, continuing to report steady growth overall, but sales waned in its biggest video game sub-segment. For the quarter ending June 30th, net sales overall were up by 1.8% to $809 million. Operating income went up by 29.5% to $158 million, and ordinary income saw an increase of 26.9% up to $160 million. In contrast, net sales in the digital entertainment segment decreased by 6%, $637 million, and operating income decreased by 34% to $156 million. In the HD game subsegment, Square Enix noted that sales had declined due to releases such as Outriders and Nier Replicant, failing to generate the revenue seen from the likes of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which released during the same quarter last year. However, net sales rose year over year across the MMO and games for smart devices subsegments, with subscriptions for Final Fantasy XIV and sales for Dragon Quest Tactics driving those sections respectively. In the amusement section, net sales totaled $85 million, a 105.4% increase compared to the same period last year. Square Enix's amusement sector was severely impacted by COVID-19, but has since improved. The company's consolidated forecast for the current fiscal year has not changed since its full year report released in May. It expects net sales of $3.1 billion and an increase of 2% year over year. Operating and ordinary income are forecasted to reach $365 million each, with increases of 15% and 20% respectively. I skipped a news story, my bad. Xander, where are you on this, my dude? Like, I know, like, you're probably not much of a Squeenix guy yourself, right? I'm assuming.
My initial thing, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
this is the first thing I think. But no, it is interesting to look at this breakdown, especially considering everything that has happened over the course of the last couple of years.
Yes.
And I mean, just it kind of puts into perspective, like, how they're kind of going about this. What games are actually being successful and whatnot. It is interesting. I mean, mentioned Outriders there. That was kind of a travesty.
It was rough. Yeah.
I was super excited about that too, because that's one of those games that kind of anyone in the Destiny community kind of looked at it and like, okay, this is very similar to Destiny. It's a looter shooter. You have different classes. You can do a lot of customization, and I was really excited for it. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring people down.
Well, if it's any benefit, me and Devin have talked about going back and finally like finishing it, because they finally fixed his character. They fixed his character. They brought his character back. He has access to it now. The issue is now, like, is there enough hype to even justify really like finishing the game outside of our own needs to just finish the game that we really thoroughly enjoyed so much? My thing is that's interesting too is like Final Fantasy VII Remake is a massive title. That's a massive title for them to be comparing games like new IPs like Outriders to. Like it's a little weird because you see this with a lot of like publishing companies, right? That say like, hey, like we have these titles and this year we're not doing as well because last year we released one of the biggest IPs like known in the game industry, and now we're having a hard time like justifying these games or whatnot. And so it goes into a deeper question of like, are they really calling shots that well, basing that off of like their sales on like a huge fucking title? I don't think this is gonna make too much of a difference for a potential like sequel to Outriders, because I do think that if I remember correctly, Outriders did relatively well for being a new IP. And a lot of people genuinely enjoyed it. It's just they lost such a massive amount of their player base because of the issues they were running into. I'm curious as to see whether or not an Outriders 2 would bring some people back, if anything. I don't know. If they were thinking about that, would you ever go back to Outriders, you think?
Potentially, because I mean, you've heard it before with like a lot of games where they released the first game and it had a so-so kind of following and launch and everything, and then they release another one, like the second one, and it just massively improves the game overall, and then brings in a whole bunch of other people because of word of mouth mainly. Because like, oh yeah, I played the first one, it was pretty fun and stuff like that. But these updates, man, that they're bringing in, that's gonna be the hot ticket. You should hop on with me. So I could see potentially something like that happening, because I know there have been plenty of games back in the day. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember hopping into a number 2 of this franchise or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Why haven't I ever played the first one? And you're like, right. Oh, the first one was kind of trash. It had like a shaky launch, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. And so they kind of do like a soft reboot with the second game or the second installment.
Right.
So I could potentially see something like that happening.
Okay. Yeah. I could definitely see that too. If you're down to play it again, let me and Devin know. Me and I have been talking.
Oh, absolutely. I still have it downloaded. So
we'll talk about that.
We'll do the pew pew, the little Florence pew pew.
Oh, a little pew pew, some burn, and some ice, some of that good stuff. It'll be a good time, dude. I'm excited for it. I do genuinely want to beat that game because I genuinely did really enjoy it. Like if it wasn't, honest to God, and that Devin, if you're listening to this is not your fault, but it is. If Devin didn't get so just like bummed out about losing his character, I honestly like would have like kept playing, but I didn't want to play without him because we started it together. You know what I mean? That like, oh, we're brethren in this Outriders universe now. You know what I mean? And like, I just, now that if he's down for it, if you're down for it, I'm fucking down for it. You know what I'm saying?
That was me and Husky. Me and Husky hopped on together at launch.
Oh fuck yes, baby. I mean, like, let's try to go back to Enoch. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to Enoch. Let's fuck it up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to shoot aliens. I'm trying to do cool shit. I'm trying to shoot electricity from my hands again. You know what character did you have? What character were you in?
I started out with the one that was like the closest to like the hunter class in Destiny. Can't remember off the top of my head.
The one that was like teleporting and shit, right?
Yeah, you could like teleport places, and yes, the trickster.
Yeah.
So I started off with that, and then there's the technomancer that I tried out.
So
that was sick.
So
when you can summon like an artillery barrage,
like turrets,
I'm like,
oh my god,
that is so insane.
It's so cool, dude. Yeah,
so they had a lot of potential, and I think if they kind of hunker down on it and like work out all the bugs and stuff like that, I think it could be a very successful game. Yeah, it's a very successful franchise.
I think that this is a learning experience for them, like new titles, especially new looter shooters, like multiplayer looter shooters. Like they gotta work out some of the kinks, because I know Borderlands had the same issues. for a long time.
Mhm.
Destiny 1 obviously had a lot of the same
Yeah.
issues too. I mean, you weren't losing entire characters on Destiny, but the beauty of this though is that the developers for Outriders were doing such a beautiful job. I think it's People Can Fly.
Yeah,
They were
People
doing
Can Fly.
such a beautiful job of handling like updates on what's going on, and hey, like, we're working on this, we're trying, please be patient on us. And I feel like that should be a signal for other developers to really just like nail down like how to handle this. I mean, even recently now we have this experience with the Ascent, and when Outriders came out, I was actively checking their Twitter for their updates, and they were all the time like, oh yeah, we have some server issues, we're working on it, if you need to work around, this is how to go about that. And it was fucking rad. It was such a good experience to have them being active on trying to help us through this. And the Ascent is not.
Yep.
And now we're not fucking playing it. And me and Devin went over the numbers, I think yesterday, the day before. Because of such, the Ascent only has in like 8,000 player base on Steam. Like, and Steam is the main platform for it. It's rough. It's way rough, dude. 8,000 players, that's it. Big yikes. So like it just goes to show like Outriders has so much more of a potential chance of like being successful with another title because they handled it as best as they possibly could. Even though things were real bad, like they have such a better chance of having like a successful follow-up. Where the Ascent, I don't think people are gonna be able to trust that, dude. Like, at least me, like, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I'm just like, no, they could come out with the Ascent 2 in a year, and I'd be like, fuck that, dude. Like, I don't trust that. Same thing with, like, Cyberpunk. Like, were people gonna think, like, are they gonna trust another CD Projekt Red game? Like, I know we're derailing.
I don't think so.
But, like, honestly, I don't, like, I can see them trusting another Witcher. I don't think they're gonna trust another Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, no, Cyberpunk, that's one of those games where, for me, personally, I wanted to go back and try and finish it out because I was so hyped about it, and because I was so thankful to my Twitch community at the time that they gifted me the game.
Yeah.
And I wanted to finish it for them, but I came across a game-breaking bug that literally I had to completely restart the game, create a whole new character. And it brought me it kind of like a little bit of a PTSD in a sense. Because I remember I poured hours into Skyrim back in the day, and my little brother, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, he was an idiot. He completely deleted my game files for Skyrim on our 360 hard drive. And so it kind of like at an instant, I was like, oh god, I could be so far into this game, and then all of a sudden I hit another bug, and then just all of that just wasted fucking time. And I know that they've worked on certain bugs here and there and stuff like that, and they've been kind of open about a couple of things here and there, but the level of transparency was not there to make me feel comfortable about it. And so that's why I haven't gotten back to Cyberpunk. Like, things like, I'm used to Destiny, where the Destiny developers and the whole community, there's a lot of back and forth between the devs and the community. And I was used to, like, the weekly updates from Bungie and stuff like that. And then you go to a game where they're like, oh, there's a class action lawsuit against the freaking developer, blah, 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 blah. All this shit. I'm just like, pass.
Yeah. Hard pass. Just like a hard pass on some stuff that we're going to talk about here on this last news segment. Gone Home Studio co-founder steps down after allegations of toxic workplace. This comes from Luke Plunkett at Kotaku, and it reads like this. Steve Gaynor, the co-founder of Gone Home developers Fulbright, has left his position as creative lead and manager on their latest game, Open Roads, following allegations he fostered a toxic work environment. Early Wednesday, Open Roads' Twitter account posted the following message saying only that quote, we are fervent believers in fostering a work environment that's healthy and collaborative, that Gaynor had stepped back from his role as creative lead and manager, end quote. Shortly afterwards, Polygon reported the departure in much greater detail, saying that since development of Open Roads began in 2019, 15 staff had left the studio, while 12 of those who had left spoke with the site and said, quote, said their departure was at least in part due to Gainer's behavior toward workers, specifically women, on the team, end quote. The report also says 10 of the 12 employees who have left have been women, and that Gainer had actually left his role back in March. Quote, after it became clear that the steps that were already being taken to improve his interactions with the team were only yielding temporary results. One former employee in a leadership role told Polygon that, quote, working for him often felt like working for a high school mean girl. His go-to weapon was to laugh at people's opinions and embarrass them in front of other people, end quote. While the allegations and revelation that there had already been steps being taken to improve his interactions with the team are substantial, Gainer has not left the company or even development on the game. Instead, he will, quote, transition to a role as a writer, where he will remain as one of the reported 6 people still at Fulbright working on the game. Fulbright released the critically acclaimed Gone Home in 2014 and followed it up with Tacoma in 2017. Open Roads has been due for a release in 2021. And then here we have an update. Gainer had actually posted a tweet with a statement about his being moved into this role here. And it read like this. Hi all, I have a statement to share about my role at Fulbright. Earlier this year, I stepped back from my role as creative lead on Open Roads. My leadership style was hurtful to people that worked at Fulbright, and for that, I truly apologize. Stepping back has given me space and perspective to see how my role needs to change and how I need to learn and improve as a part of the team, including working with an expert management consultant and rethinking my relationship to the work at Fulbright. I care deeply about Open Roads and Fulbright, the team. I'm sad to have stepped back from day-to-day development of Open Roads, but it's been the right thing to do. The Open Roads team has my full faith and support as they bring the game to my completion. End quote. Eat fucking shit, Gainer. Eat fucking shit. I don't care what the fuck you tweet about this. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Xander, fucking speak on it, man. Before I go on a goddamn rant, what are your thoughts on this?
So, okay, I ultimately right now, the fact that he's stepping down, I feel like that's like just putting Band-Aid on the wound, the very open wound right now. He needs full separation. Yeah. At this point. Period. But again, as someone who has in the past made plenty of mistakes myself, I do believe in second chances, but only after appropriate action has taken place. Something like this, he needs full separation from the team. He needs to be away from the team completely, and then check into some therapy. Why are you the way that you are? Okay,
right.
Fix yourself. Then potentially a year, 2 years down the line, see if they'll welcome you back. This just goes to show, like, the whole games industry, I feel, has for the longest time been overlooked when it comes to hostile work environments. There have been mentions of it in the past, but it's one of those things where not many people really looked into it as much because it is such a kind of like offshoot kind of workplace. Like, it's not your everyday, like, you don't go out to the store and be like, oh hey, what do you do? Oh yeah, I'm a game developer. Well, it's such a very exclusive kind of work environment. So when people start talking about it and stuff like that, no one really pays attention to it, rather than like, oh yeah, this Walmart just got called out for being super fucking hostile, and everyone has a fucking Walmart. But the fact that a lot of these stories are now being focused on more so I think is a good sign. But ultimately, dude needs to get the fuck out. Just completely.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, dude. Yeah, it's interesting because the ladies at What's Good Games, right? Another podcast that covers video game news. Specifically, Andrea Renee has spent a very, very long time talking about how women have not been a major part of the games industry up until relatively recently. And a lot of that kind of just boils down to what's happening now, where it's like, because women are now becoming a much more predominant being in the games industry, women and femme presenting people, it's like we now are in a position where men are now being forced to have to be held accountable for them being shitty. And it's like, now in the climate that we are in the world, where people are no longer just putting up with people being fucking shitty anymore, good. Good. Like we need people that are doing shitty things to get the repercussions of their actions so that they can be pushed in a direction where they can be forced to be better fucking people. And if they're not going to be better people, they can be shunned from society. And that's fine. Like that's the process that we fucking do these days. Obviously, I agree with you. Everyone deserves a chance to be able to fix themselves. But you have to be punished for your actions first.
Absolutely.
You need to suffer some kind of ramifications for you being a shitty fucking person. Like it's like we all get,
otherwise, how else do you learn? You
don't. Until you've been spanked by the big hand of life, you're never gonna fucking figure out when you're fucking up. Like people don't learn without some form of trauma. So it's like the things like this, like you said, is just a band-aid. It's a band-aid on the situation where the company doesn't want to let go of this guy, obviously, for what fucking reason, I don't know, but they don't want to let go of him. You know, just like we're having the situation with Activision, they don't want to let go of these fucking assholes that they have in their company. It's just, we just need these guys to just be smoked out of the fucking industry, force them to have to face themselves, and then later on, if they fucking sorted themselves out, come back, we can see if we can work. But
that's the thing, though, because like we approach this as like kind of like, you know, from a moral standpoint, but they're approaching it from the business standpoint, and the reason that they are holding on to these people is probably because they can't find anyone nearly as good as at what they do as them, which sucks. But you know what? If you really want people to, you know, invest in your product, if you want people to actually take pride in the fact that they enjoy your product, kick these fucking people out, find someone else, or you know what, we're going on, you know, a sabbatical. All right, we're gonna take some time off. I'm sorry, you guys, we're gonna have to pull the plug on some things here. We'll keep some people on board that can maybe maintain servers or something like that. But as far as actual game updates or future content and stuff like that, that's going to be put on hold for an indefinite amount of time because we have to deal with this shit. And I think as a community, if you're of sound mind and if you're just a normal fucking person, honestly, you would understand. You can find something else to do, play a different game, or you know what, turn the shit off, go outside, go hiking, meet a nice person, and you know, start something new. That's just my dad thoughts on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to push back a little bit on a part of that you said too. Just kind of because you said that they have trouble finding someone to potentially replace this person to do what they do as well as they do. And although I partially agree with you, I also want to bring up the important fact that these companies don't ever really try, because I can almost promise that there is a person of color who would kill to be in their fucking position that have been doing it for a long time. These companies just don't actually fucking try to look for them. They're just looking for the next fucking dude that is right underneath him that they can just move up because they don't have to invest in the training in order for them to function in that job correctly, because that costs money. As someone who's been a general manager, companies invest anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000 a year training one employee. And it's like, they don't want to have to fucking do that, so they don't even fucking try. They just keep them on a retainer, and they just say, hey, well, you're kind of here, but you're not here. And then they tell them to post a fucking tweet about it, and that'll be fine. And we need to break away from that. Hire fucking diverse team members. Hire more fucking people. Hire more younger people. That's a better investment, because then they can stay. And people in our generations and younger are actually becoming more morally sound than these fucking 50 and 40-year-olds that you fucking hired 20 years ago, because they're all assholes.
Exactly. And like, just to put it in perspective, like, so you and I, we're both fathers.
Yep.
Right. But growing up, we still had that, you know, older generation that, how many times did you hear, oh, boys will be boys? Or how many times did you hear, like, you know, your friend who happened to be a girl and she's getting pushed around at the playground? How many times did you hear from like the parents, oh, he's only doing that because he likes you? Like, gone are those days. Okay. Yep. We've gotten to the point where, no, that person's being a fucking asshole. Get away from them. Yeah. And we're teaching our kids that, and we're making sure that is known, because that is not okay. We grew up with it. It's not okay.
Yep.
But now you have like these older folks in the game development companies that still have that kind of like mindset. Get them out of here. Let's get the newer generation in there.
Yep.
And then that way we can just abolish all toxic workplaces.
Fucking appreciate it. I also want to point out too that now if I get bullied, or my kid's getting bullied, I'm just gonna teach her like the crazy you are, the less they'll fuck with you, right? So it's like if they're picking on you and they're trying to fight you, all you have to do is just like squat down real low. It's like Pika, and just like yell as loud as you fucking can, and be like, "Yo, dog, I don't fuck with this," and they'll just leave you alone. They'll leave you alone. You know?
Oh, see, I go very intimidation heavy.
For sure.
So I teach. You fall completely silent. Death is in your eyes.
Yep.
You see nothing but death. Completely silent.
Yes.
And you walk up to them, and you say, "None of that." And if they continue, there's a nice little curve right here in your hand.
Yep.
Where if you stiffen up, stiffen up, go straight for the neck.
Yep.
And you have to make that sound too, because that'll just throw them off completely. You've been silent this entire time. All they heard was none of that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, yeah, like just like right in
you just yell Paraguay, and you just like hit him in the throat.
No one's gonna fuck with you.
No, dude, nobody ever again. But people are gonna fuck with us as we move on to our second segment, our hands-on segment. This is we talk a little bit about some games, TV shows, or movies that we've been recently experiencing, and we try to sell them to each other and or to you listeners and viewers at home. Xander, what have you been playing or watching?
So playing and watching. So I'm going to start with playing. I got two little tidbits of games that I wanted to touch on. Okay. Something that you know very well right now that I've been playing with Devin is Splitgate.
Yeah, and Husky.
Splitgate is a game that, quite honestly, it's Halo. It up and down. There's no denying that they were inspired by Halo. For sure. Downright to just like even the announcements. In the game feel very much like you're playing Halo. Game modes, same names for weapons and stuff like that. But the big kicker is that there's portals.
Yes, that's right.
The portals it just adds a whole new mystery to the game, and it's a lot of fun, especially in recent months since they received a large investment to update the game. Because I played the game. April of 2020 was the last time I played that before, so it was pre those updates, and I had an enjoyable time with it. But now, graphically speaking, that they've been updated, and there's a huge player base now with all these updates, especially since with everything considering the ActiBliz stuff, and people are moving away from Call of Duty and Overwatch, and this is kind of like fixing that first person shooter itch. But it's just fun, it's one of those games where it's not too heavy on mechanics or anything like that. It's just kind of like turn your brain off and just go shoot things. And that's what I really loved about Halo. That's why I had like Halo nights going for a little bit there, and then we started playing Splitgate, and this is pretty much taking place of that. And I would definitely encourage you to hop on with us one night and just turn your brain off and shoot shit. That's the thing. The other game that I wanted to touch on briefly, and I say briefly because there's only so much I can talk about it. Okay. Is xDefiant, Tom Clancy's xDefiant.
So your NDA is allowing you to speak on it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Essentially, what I want to say about it is the fact that, once for starters, I was lucky enough to even get in. I was like, oh my god! But it is very fun. It is exciting. It's not necessarily anything really new in mechanics, but the game is in pre-alpha right now. Yeah. But it is still very well put together. And I would encourage people to keep an eye on it, because me and Husky, we hopped on for a little bit, and it was one of those things where we didn't want to put it down. we the only reason I put it down was because I was running on like 2 hours of sleep, and I
Okay.
was like, all right, I gotta fucking I
For
gotta get
sure.
some rest.
For sure.
But it was just, and even when I hopped on stream last night, the only thing I was having fun playing Splitgate, but the only thing I could think of is I really want to just hop on xDefiant, and I am so hoping that they release a statement within like the next week or so saying, all right, you guys are good, go ahead and stream it, you know.
Oh, shit.
So
Okay.
I would definitely encourage people to keep an eye out on that.
Especially for Clancy fans like myself.
uh
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I know you mentioned that you were a little bit hesitant on it because you're sad that we weren't getting a new Splinter Cell or new Division
Yeah, yeah. I was
just
being
yet,
petty.
but
I was being petty. You know,
yeah.
let's be real. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say this, it does feel good. The aiming, I would say, like shooting and stuff like that, I would say it takes a little bit getting used to.
Okay.
It does feel very different than other first person shooters that I've played. But once you get over that little hurdle right there, it is absolutely fun to play. And
Okay.
I definitely again encourage people to keep an eye out for it.
Sick, dude. Sick. All right, man. Well, I will maybe dive into that with you. I'll see how I'm feeling when it comes out. I get a little bit more talk from people, whatnot. So the first thing I want to start off with is actually my shorter one is I'm on Daredevil season 2. And I've been going through a journey.
Okay.
I'm finally watching the Defender series, okay? And I've been going through a journey, watching them all based on release order. So Daredevil season 1, Jessica Jones season 1, and now I'm on Daredevil season 2. The big reason I wanted to talk about this is because I cannot believe how fucking good John Bernthal is as the Punisher. I cannot.
Right.
Honest to God, this may be my favorite Marvel casting, period, ever, because he is so fucking perfect for this character as Frank Castle. I just am so overwhelmed by it. And I think I just hit the spot where he's no longer in Daredevil. And now it moves into him in his own standalone show. So I'm curious as to what the fuck is going to happen for the rest of the season. But I just wanted to speak on John Bernthal playing as Frank Castle and playing as the Punisher and how just unreal that casting was. And now I'm just so lit up about the casting, about all these fucking characters, between him as the Punisher, the dude playing as Wilson Fisk. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, even Kilgrave's casting was wonderful. I do not know why the fuck I slept on these shows. Just punch me in the dick for just missing out on this.
Your punch is coming. As soon as I heard that you hadn't seen those, I sent a punch in a box. It's currently on your way.
Yeah, by
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep. So yeah, you should expect that. Let me see, get the tracking here. You should expect that by tomorrow.
You got you got Falcon tracking. Okay.
Yep.
I love that for you. That's very good. That's very fortunate for you. I love that. Yeah. So I'm really excited about continuing in that and really like diving a little bit deeper. Now, the other one I want to talk about is actually my experience with Splitgate. I played it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours with Devin the other night. And I'm going to drop my character here for all of you, okay? Because I've been shitting all over this fucking game for the past week just for the sake of fucking with Xander and Devin. This game is fun. It is a fun game. It's very nostalgic for Halo fans. It plays almost identical to fucking Halo. Like, you are 100% correct. The portals are a really fun thing. I think it's very cool. The booster jump thing is very, very cool. The very good selection in weapon type that you have in this game is also very, very fun. It's a lot more fast paced than I expected it to be too. With like portals and shipping in there, it's very fast paced. I did not expect that. What I want to say too is like I feel like I'm very torn 50-50 on it myself, because I'm not very fond a lot of the artwork. I feel like the artwork pulls me away from it so much, like the graphical like quality, the art design, just generally speaking, don't look that great to me. And because it doesn't look great, like I feel like it makes it feel clunkier than it actually is, because it's not really clunky. It is surprisingly smooth, but everything just feels clunky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's almost like the video game version of like those old DC shoes that you used to wear. Like those big bulky motherfuckers, you know. So it's like again, I agree with you on the skins, because the skins I'm just like,
yeah,
what are you guys doing? It's almost like they took Master Chief and then a football player, which they actually have a skin available right now that is a football player.
Yeah, right. But, Jesus, really?
Yeah. But for the most part, it just feels like just not it.
Yeah,
you know,
like
that's the only way I can describe it. Is like the skins are just kind of subpar. There's like maybe one or two that I'm like, okay, that the overall structure of it looks okay. But then when you come into like, the way the coloration and like the different options you have, I'm just like, this is just no.
Right.
But the gameplay definitely saves it.
For sure. Like to me, it just kind of feels like playing a game from like last gen on a last gen console. Even if it's good, it just feels off. You know what I mean? And so like it is like, it can be a fun game. It can be a very, very fun game, but it's like, because it just feels old, like the way the gameplay just feels dated, that like it kind of just bogs down the experience for me personally. Now, granted, that's not me saying the game is bad. Like it genuinely has a lot of good qualities. One thing that we mentioned off stream is that I firmly believe that this game's going to do really, really great over the course of the next month. I already see it starting to get fairly popular, but the way I feel is that once Halo multiplayer drops for free, this game's going to lose a massive chunk of its player base, because I don't think that the gimmicks that it has, good or bad, because gimmicks don't have to be bad, I think the gimmicks that it has aren't going to be enough to keep people in when such a powerhouse that is Halo comes out.
I think the saving grace for Splitgate will most likely be people who are only on PlayStation, honestly. Because as of right now, they're scratching that itch that we all have for that Halo multiplayer experience. And I've even had a couple people tune into my stream and say they're super excited about Splitgate because they only play on PlayStation, and they've always wanted that Halo experience, but never really got around to it because they could only afford one console and they were, PlayStation side.
Right.
So that would probably be primarily their kind of demographic right there, is the PlayStation players. But I agree that when Halo Infinite and Halo multiplayer come out, Splitgate's going to see a huge drop, because that would include myself.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
right.
So stoked.
And me too. I'm way fucking hype on the free Halo multiplayer that's coming out, because it's like the more people, the more of the influencers and stuff and like creators that are on our, that in our world have been talking about it from the last like open weekend that they had. Everyone had just wonderful things to fucking say about it. It's just only making me more hype. Between this and Battlefield, I'm like way excited for Pew Pews later on this year. It's gonna be a fucking good year for Pew Pews, my dude. It's gonna be so good. With that said, we're going to move straight into our headlining segment to talk a little bit more about Pew Pews and some other titles as well, because we are talking about the overs and unders. These are all the titles and IPs, franchises, what have you, that we think are overrated and some that we think are underrated. And so the way that we're going to do this is do one game, one movie, one show that we think are overrated, and then we'll do some ones that we think are underrated to end on a positive note for the end of things here. Xander, I want to start with you, and you can pick whichever one you want. I'll reflect off of you. We'll go from that way. What are some titles that you think are overrated?
So I mentioned it earlier. I want to start with my number one overrated game, and it's basically a franchise as a whole, Call of Duty.
All right.
I'm going with Call of Duty simply because it has been around for some odd years, and ever since they started doing the whole modern day kind of stuff, it hasn't necessarily changed at all. Like there are like small differences here and there, but it's not enough. It's just not enough in my opinion. And the fact that you have all these people like, oh yeah, Call of Duty is the only game I'll play. Blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, no shit. You've been playing the same thing for like the last 10 years. And like,
yeah,
I think they had something good in when they started doing like like the throwbacks. Because when I first played Call of Duty, it was in World War II. It was like Call of Duty Big Red 1 on the fucking GameCube.
Yeah.
And that's when I really liked Call of Duty. And then they started getting into Modern Warfare. I'm like, okay, this is cool. They were bringing it up to modern times. And then they kept going on and going on, going on and on. And then next thing you know, the cow that they're milking ain't got no cow left. Like, you got all the milk and cow and all this other shit. And now it's just bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're milking bone now, man. Like, do something different. Like, it's just, and I know people can say the same thing about like Halo and stuff like that, but you've seen with what they're showing in these previews and stuff like that they are implementing different things to Halo. They were doing this, that, and the other thing. The only thing that Call of Duty really did was jump on the bandwagon that is Battle Royale. That is another thing I feel is highly overrated.
Yep.
Just no.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't deserve the hype. I think they need to change up the formula.
Big agree. Big agree. So actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because for my overrated game thing, I actually didn't have a specific title I thought was overrated. My thing was actually going to be Battle Royale in general. So you probably heard me say this. I know Devin's heard me say this a whole lot. I don't fuck with Battle Royales usually. That's a big part of why, like, when we were playing Apex, I was like so lit up about the arenas mode because it's now no longer Battle Royale. It is just a 3v3 elimination experience, and I'm so fucking here for it. Because Battle Royale, I know that PUBG sort of like forefronted the Battle Royale like movement, and then Fortnite like capitalized on that and mastered it. There's something about it that I can't wrap my mind around, but I also have just never thought it was that good. I just never thought it was that good. Like I could see where in like PUBG, it was like, oh cool, this is a new experience. This is dope. Like we have a military like FPS simulator in a weird way that offers a massive amount of people to be able to combat each other. And then Fortnite kind of like flipped it on its head and it gave us this nice, cool, generally like ease of access experience into Battle Royale. And then everything after that is now just people trying to ride on the coattails of Fortnite and PUBG on a game mode that I think has become something so much more that I really needed it to ever become. Like, I do not need Battle Royale and everything. I do not need it. I understand that it's gained popularity and now we're going to continue getting Battle Royales until the next new fucking wave of gameplay style happens. But I am so fucking over it, dude. I'm so over it. I don't need every game to have Battle Royale. I don't. Like, I know that, like, there's talk of, like, Halo multiplayer actually having some code that got data mined in their files that had a mentioning of Battle Royale in it. And I'm just like, please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. But it begs my excitement for Battlefield. Because I'm just like, that is like a weird take on a like sort of Battle Royale scenario without being Battle Royale. And I'm just like, I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it, dude. Like, I'm 110%. I just don't need it anymore.
Yeah, because before the traditional, at least now what we know as the traditional stereotypical kind of format for a Battle Royale, it's, big map, lots of people, closing space. That eventually gets to a finite area that you have to battle it out to be the last one standing. But before that, the original Battle Royale, in my opinion, was that of Battlefield, where you have these large fucking maps and you have lobbies of so many people, but it's still essentially team deathmatch. And that is still, like, to me, like what Battle Royale should be.
Yes.
Just big fucking teams just going at it. And you never know if you look to your left and right and you're like, oh shit, oh no, you got like 50 people after you.
Right.
That is exciting to me. Whereas this new format of the battle royale is all right, so we're going to spend the next 20 minutes just running around in an open space and looting and finding stuff, and then all of a sudden you get cold, and then out of nowhere you have that one team that hot dropped, and they're fresh as fuck, and then all of a sudden you lose everything that you just spent 20 minutes trying to look for.
And now you're out of the match completely, and you have to restart,
and then you have to load into another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid. It's dumb.
I'm so over it. I'm over it. I don't fucking need it anymore. Husky says, I think both have their own place. Yeah, no, it's fair. They do. They do have their place. I feel like one is being entirely overdone now, and it's grown tired. It's tired. And I like until someone does a take on Battle Royale that is just so outstanding and different and bombacious while still kind of giving us that sort of like tighter arena sort of space, I'm over it. I'm done. I don't want it anymore. Like Battlefield 2041, I think it's the next one, or 2042, something like that. It doing what they're about to do now is the most optimal sense of what we're talking about, where it's like having the fucking 128 players, 64 v 64 in a massive arena that is like actively trying to harm you, with a massive amount of people that are actively trying to harm you. And it's not just like closing in and you're not just dying and then you have to leave and find a new match. It's like you're dying and revving, and you're having a full battle experience is what I want out of a sort of battle royale scenario. You know what I mean? Like, because this was my experience with Apex when I first got into it, was I was so dampened down by investing 20-30 minutes into loading out, running around the map, doing this, picking up things, running around, and the first firefight I got into, I'd fucking die. And I have to redo those fucking 30 minutes before seeing any action again, because the only action I've gotten in an hour is death. Like, I'm so over it. I'm so fucking over it. I need something different at this point. Xander, what's your next one that you think is overrated?
The next overrated thing is going to be a shock, actually, that I mentioned it because I am so in love with it. Okay. But I will agree that it is overrated, and that is comic book movie adaptations.
Oh. Ooh, okay.
As I am sitting here rocking a Marvel hoodie.
Yes.
I have Spider-Man and Captain America right behind me on my wall. I have Deadpool up there. I love comic book movie adaptations. However, I will agree it's gotten to a point where it is highly overrated. They've pretty much almost oversaturated the box office at this point, and now we're bleeding into streaming platforms and this and that, and it's everywhere now. As much as a comic book fan that I am, I love to see it. I eat it up. But at the same time, that it goes back on what I was saying about Stranger Things and how Stranger Things is so great because it is a very original story, and original stories are few and far between these days. There's always something that's based off of something else. And it's almost like writers these days are so lazy that they can't come up with their own stories, that they have to borrow from previous material. And that's one thing why I kind of like some of like the A24 movies and stuff like that, because even if it's not really necessarily my cup of tea, I look at it and for the most part, I mean, The Green Knight was also based off on a novel, I believe. But some of the other ones...
based on a poem. It's based on like a short story.
Yeah, but for the most part, they are very much original stories. And even if I don't necessarily like it completely, I give it the respect it deserves for being an original story in a sea of stories that are based on previous content. And that's just kind of like my brief little tidbit on that, because I do still love it. I eat it up. You hear me talk. I was, even before we started, I was watching the new clip for the Shang-Chi movie coming out in September, which I'm so stoked on.
Oh my god, dude. I so just like wish you fucking lived here, because the amount of hype that me and Devin are having for that fucking night. Like, we're going at 9 o'clock our time for the midnight release, because on the West Coast it comes out at 9.
Yeah,
we're so fucking lit up about this, dude. It's gonna be so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
good, dude. Anyways,
it's
continue.
so good. That was just gonna be my little bit on that. So yeah, comic book movie adaptations, oversaturated, overdone. Still fucking love them.
So here's my thing: is I need just one more comic book adaptation, and then I will be fine. I will be happy. I'll be content. And they can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't even care anymore. I need them to give us fucking Spawn. I need Spawn to get the shake he fucking deserves. Okay, I've had it. I've had it with just listen. I love the original 90s Spawn movie. Okay, I do. It's awful. It is so bad. Spawn did not deserve it. It did not deserve it. Spawn deserves better. And I know Jagger, if Jagger's watching this now, later, what have you, he will agree with me. Holy shit, we need Spawn to get a fair shake. They've been working on this low-key fucking movie for a minute now, and I don't know what the production status is on that fucking movie. I need this shit now, and then they can do whatever the fuck they want with stopping, continuing. I don't even fucking care. I need Spawn. I need fucking Spawn, my friend. My next overrated thing that I want to talk about here is Supernatural.
Oh,
I'm gonna catch some fucking flack for this, okay? I'm gonna catch so much fucking flack for this. Why Supernatural ever got as popular as it did, I do not fucking know. I have no goddamn clue why this show blew up the way it fucking did. I wish it did not, because this show went for a really long fucking time because it blew up the way it did. It is so CW as fuck. None of the writing is fucking good. Like, the only saving grace this fucking show has is its mythological beings. And that is it. That is it. I don't understand what it is about this fucking show that people have just grasped onto. And as a bonus mention here, I feel the exact same way about Doctor Who. And again, I'm going to catch some heat, guys. I'm sorry, chat. Be cool. Listeners, viewers, be fucking cool, okay? I'm sorry. I just can't fucking do it anymore. The overly cheesy writing is just so beyond me now. I can't fucking do it. The more CW it is, the less I fucking like it. All right? I don't have the time or the energy to consume massive amounts of content, let alone massive amounts of content. Okay? I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. Why did Supernatural last this long, Xander? Why did it do it?
So I was actually a big fan of Supernatural back in the day. I got up to, I want to say maybe around like season 6 or so. But that is one
like
of those
85.
things where
of 85,
that is one of those things where and it's actually one of the reasons why I believe that the reason there is beauty in things is because it comes to an end eventually. An appropriate end. Where this just went on far too long. I could never mind. I'm not gonna say anything about Suicide Squad. But
don't do it yet. We'll be covering that on Tuesday.
That might be spoiler. Yeah. But no, it's there's some things that just go on for way too long. I think the initial appeal was that it was a little bit different at the time that it came out. It was kind of coming off the heels, if I remember correctly, kind of like you had like just after Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you had, True Blood and stuff like that. And so it was kind of in that vein, but different. And so they kind of pulled on that crowd and, got more people that, vampires weren't their thing. So, all right, demons, cool. But also the two main characters, Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, they work very well on screen together. And people could feel that. Unfortunately, in recent news, apparently Jared Padalecki punched the shit out of Jensen Ackles.
Jesus.
So apparently, so in a nutshell, Supernatural is coming to an end, but they were talking about doing a prequel series based off of their parents. And Jensen Ackles was on board for the project. He was brought onto the project. I believe he was going to maybe do some narration or something like that. But Jared Padalecki was not approached for the project at all. Meanwhile, Jensen Ackles, having worked with Jared Padalecki, they've been basically brothers not only on the show but basically offset as well, because you can't fake that kind of chemistry. You got to be, you know, pretty close off screen as well. Jensen Ackles never told Jared about it. Now I will defend Jensen Ackles because just after this, you know, he was brought on to for production for The Boys, the next season of The Boys.
Oh, sick. Okay.
And not only that, you know, you have pandemic, and then Jensen, you know, he's been away from his family for so long because of the pandemic and filming and all this other stuff. Probably the last thing on his mind is reminding to tell his you know, on-set brother, hey, by the way, they decided that they're going to do this prequel series, and they're probably not having you on it. But obviously, from Jared Padalecki's you know, standpoint, he feels kind of betrayed. So it is kind of interesting to hear about that. But I backtrack, you know, not to go too much off. Going back on Supernatural, I think the main ticket was their chemistry on screen.
Okay.
And kind of made it work.
All right. I believe it. I need them to erase.
But I do agree, it went on way too long.
From human history. We need to erase Supernatural from ever having.
Well, if you do that, please do that with Grey's Anatomy as well.
Oh, please. Yes, absolutely. House was way better. Better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
110%.
House was
I loved
3
House.
times the
that made me
show
want to be more of an asshole.
Man, seriously, dude, seriously. And like now, like my body's all fucked up from playing sports and shit. So I'm just like, give me like 10 more years and a cane, and I will be there. I'll be there. I'll just make up shit if I have to. If I have to be an expert, so I just make up shit. Hey, you can't fucking drive like that, asshole. Like I don't know. You know, we'll figure out something for me to be a fake expert on. Xander, what is a movie that you think is overrated? Movie franchise, movie series, what have, single movie, whichever.
I'm gonna go with a pretty obvious one, I feel like.
Okay.
The Fast and Furious franchise.
You really think
highly
overrated? Okay. All right.
Highly overrated.
Okay.
I think they don't deserve the.
You don't have family
that there is,
Xander. You don't have family. Huh? That's your issue. You know what I mean? You don't have family.
I don't. Okay. I get that at this point that they've kind of pretty much accepted the fact that their movies are just fucking dumb, and we're just gonna just throw all the action and just leave out any of the actual like necessary components to build an actual story. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like at this point, if they were doing the Fast and Furious series, like if it was at this point back like 10 years ago, it would be going straight to TV or straight to DVD. Yeah. I don't understand why it's still getting so much money and so much. And I think what works is the fact that, you know, like going back to like Tropic Thunder, you know, you see the beginning of Tropic Thunder, you have Ben Stiller's character where he's in all those wild like action movies, and they're just going on and on and on and on.
Scorcher, what?
Like they've actually created that in real life. That's how I feel about it.
Who left the freezer open? You remember that? Tell him what time it is.
Like, I'll respect it. I'll respect anyone who enjoys it, but I just think, fuck, dude, you don't need to be so hyped.
It's wild because like I can understand why you're saying it's overrated because like sales wise, these movies make way more money than they honestly should. These movies are complete fucking ass, right? Total fucking ass. My thing is like the only sort of argument I could even make for it is that everyone who watches these movies know their ass. So it's like half of me feels like, yeah, they are overrated because they make a lot of money. But the other half of me is like, they can't be overrated because nobody actually is rating them that high. But like they are because they're making money. Like it's the Fast series is such a weird fucking anomaly in like a glitch in the Matrix that is human life. Like I don't understand why they make as much money as they do because they honestly shouldn't. Like Vin Diesel is not a good actor. He is not a good actor. Like very few of the cast in these movies are actually good actors, and that's down to what? Han. That's it. He's the only character in these movies that are legitimately good. I don't fucking get it, dude. I don't fucking get it. But I agree with you. My overrated movie thing, again, I might catch some flack here, okay, is the Harry Potter movies. Yep, here we go. Here we go. Here's my deal.
That's fine.
Here's my deal. Here's my deal. Well, no, and this is what I was going to say is I finally read the books about 5 years ago. Finally. When I was a kid, I was so caught up in Lord of the Rings and how fascinating that book series was that I just did not attach to Harry Potter when all my friends were. And so I didn't finally get into them recently. The books are remarkable. I just wish they did not make them into movies until now. Because there's so much they could have done with these movies that could have just elevated if they waited a little bit longer to fucking start making them. But the backhand part of that is that we wouldn't have gotten Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, and he's a beautiful, beautiful job at being Harry Potter. Like, he did fascinating at this. Just the movies did the books so much injustice, and I just don't understand the love that the movies fucking get to the extent that they do, because the movies are just so not good. Like, fundamentally not good. You know, like in like on a like movie basis, they skip a lot of story. There's a lot of loophole that's just like, not explained, or they explain it away with just scene gaps, scene transitions for no fucking reason. Like, they're entertaining for people that like read the books as children, and I can get that. They're entertaining for people that enjoy high fantasy. They're just not that good at movies, man. They're just not that. The books deserve more. They deserve more than what the movies fucking gave them, especially the last like 3 fucking movies. Like, I don't know. They deserve more. Let's kind of move into some underrated stuff. Xander, we'll breeze through these fairly quickly here because I want to try to fit this in the last 15 minutes of the show here. What is some stuff you think were underrated?
So I actually struggle on this one. I was trying to find some underrated stuff, and I feel like almost a complete simpleton and a complete normie because I don't really delve into the indie too much. However, I will say one thing that I find slightly underrated is a game called Goose Goose Duck.
Okay, Sledge has talked to us about this. Speak on it a bit.
So a lot of people are just basically like, oh, it's Among Us. Well, no. It is inspired by Among Us.
No, you're fucking wrong.
It is highly inspired by Among Us, but they started implementing changes into the game and other things that you can do in the game that Among Us actually saw and was like, oh shit, we should probably do that. So months after Goose Goose Duck came out, they started implementing some of the similar stuff into Among Us. But no, Goose Goose Duck is a
Devin's
game.
Watching. Oh shit.
There's
Continue.
His game. One of the developers I know pretty well. He goes by the name Canadian Thor on Twitch, and he's actually been getting up there. But the fact that one of the developers is actually very prevalent on Twitch. He's listening to people talk about his game. He's open. There's that transparency we were talking about with other games earlier, where if you have a question about the game, if you have any issues with the game, you could go right over to his chat and be like, "Yo, this is fucked up. Fix it." And he'd be like, "I bet," and then he'll fix it.
Devin, god damn it. Did you know Horizon Forbidden West is coming out in spring 2022? Did you know that I'm going to...
did you know that?
Did you know I'm going to drink myself into a stupor because you're an insufferable human being, Devin? I can't stand you. You won the bet. You won the bet. All right? Like, god damn it. Anyways, continue, Xander.
Yes, but no, basically, it in a nutshell, it is a very similar to Among Us. But it adds a little bit of oomph, you know. You have all these different roles that you can play. You have different ways you can kill people. You have different ways to win. Pretty much, like, you don't just have to be an imposter or the people that are trying to get their tasks done. You could be a dodo bird and pretend like you can be out there trying to get everyone to think that you're the imposter, and then they try and vote you off. But ha, fooled you. You voted for me. Well, guess what? I won.
Sick. Okay.
That's me selling it for you.
No, for sure. That sounds interesting.
Goose Goose Duck. Go ahead and check that out. It's a lot of fun.
I genuinely do like Among Us. I haven't played in a minute. I was playing on mobile for a long time and like really enjoyed it. It was fun. Like I would sit and play for like an hour as I was trying to go to bed or whatever. But there were some things about it that was kind of like, it's getting a little bit redundant. So when Sledge mentioned Goose Goose Duck, I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested on that. There's just been so many games to play that I haven't gotten a chance to really like go in and dive into it. But if you guys definitely recommended that highly, I'll give it a fair shake. So Devin,
and this is coming from someone who absolutely hated just the idea of Among Us. Like I played it a little bit. Granted, I probably played with some toxic people. For sure. But I just the overall just experience for me was just like, this is shitty. You got a platform where literally people can just fucking lie to you and be a total asshat and get away with it. And they will sit there and say anything and everything to legitimately piss you off. I was like, okay, fuck this. That being said, when I hopped on Goose Goose Duck, I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. All right. I will give that a fair shake. So to reflect on you, my underrated game, I feel, and this might be a weird take. Because numbers wise, there's some argument here. I feel like The Division doesn't get as much love as it deserves. Now, Devin knows this about me. I'm a very big fan of the Division franchise. And specifically Division 2. I spent a good 300 hours on the Division 2. And I love that game. And it has some moments where it is dead and it is difficult and it is broken in some places. The dark zone is very in some places where it kind of fuels toxicity in there for PvP sort of like things, PvP, VE sort of scenarios. But The Division deserves to be one of the biggest fucking multiplayer shooter franchises because this game is so much fun. It handles grinding so well. It has this story that's very grounded in a reality that just feels so fucking cool. The development team for the Division franchise have gone out of their way to study entire cities to make sure that the maps in the Division are as accurate as possible. Like there's so many things about the Division franchise that I'm just flabbergasted by in the best way. This game deserves to be one of the most popular fucking shooter games. Period. I've had so much fun playing with friends on the Division, playing with people that I don't even fucking know. The raids are so dope. So fucking dope that after I finished the raid, I felt like nothing else in the content available at the time could keep up with it. Like I love this game to the bottom of my fucking heart, and I wish it got more fucking love. I wish more people were in love with it as I was. I
didn't ever have any experience with the Division 2. I played the first one.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing for me was I'm more partial to the first person look.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the kind of over the shoulder kind of thing, which I mean I think that was also a little bit of what kind of detracted me from Outriders.
Okay.
But no, I agree with the fact that, you know, it is a beautiful game. The fact that they did take the time to research those areas. Like I remember I was talking with my senior chief at work, and he was really into it because he lived in DC at the time, and he could actually visit his apartment building. Like, like how cool is that? You know, I mean, granted, it was probably blown up or something like that. But still,
for sure.
He was like, "Yo, this is cool." I'm like, I'm just gonna go home. Like, literally, just
going home, guys. I'll see you later.
But I think there are just some things where, at the time, like, you know, I think Destiny was still very big for me when it came to looter shooters, and I think, you know, grinding out for like a ski cap and like a gun that looks mildly different was kind of like meh for me, whereas like, you know, like the art style in like Destiny and stuff like that, like, oh damn, that thing has like a skull and like green smoke coming out of it, of course I want to fucking grind for that, you know. So I think that's where it fell flat for me.
If it's any consolation, some of the legendary weapons in the Division look dope. there's some real cool shit once you start getting to like the legendary and like high rare weaponry. So like there's one gun called like Lady Liberty that's like an SMG, and it has like spiked like brass knuckles as sort of like the hand guard over the trigger, like over the handle, and it has like a Statue of Liberty print on it with like blood sprinkle like red paint and shit and like duct tape and stuff. There's another one called like the I think it was the Chameleon, and it has like a bunch of like reflective glass all over it, and it was like a high fire rate SMG. It was like a 900 fire rate. It's like and you just wash people with that fucking gun. There was some cool stuff. I do see where you're coming from though. It's more of a flavor thing, and for me it's like this is where my love for like Modern Warfare, being a part of the Call of Duty franchise, is the only ones I love. Like for a long time, I might have mentioned to Devin, I don't know if I've really mentioned to anybody else, for a long time I refused to play a Call of Duty game until they came out with another Modern. Like since Modern Warfare 3 up until the newest Modern Warfare, I did not play any Call of Duties because I only wanted the Modern Warfare one. So if I do get like militarized like shooters, I have to have them feel like they're grounded in some kind of like modern day reality. And the Division kind of hit that note for me. But for people like you, that it sounds like you enjoy more high fantasy more. I can see where like it could feel a little bit like more off for you. With that said, let's move into some other stuff real quick because we got a few more minutes left here. What's some other stuff you feel is underrated?
Oh, let me see. I don't even know. I don't really know any underrated stuff. I feel like most of the things that I'm pretty much a fan of are kind of in the norm. What did you have?
I think one thing that I want to mention that I feel is underrated is the Maze Runner movies.
Oh, okay.
I think the Maze Runner movies,
I actually read the first book.
I read all the books back to back. Fell in love with them after the first Maze Runner movie got announced. I saw the trailer and was like, that looks tight. I need to read that book. I saw that it was a book and I was like, fuck, we're doing it. I read all 3 books. The books are phenomenal. They get real fucked up. Like starting like the beginning of the second book, they get real fucked up. There's kids like losing heads and shit. It's wild. The movies don't do the books justice. It's kind of the same thing as the Harry Potter situation, but the movies are fun. Like the movies feel like Harry Potter in such a way that they deserve the same kind of love that Harry Potter got. They're so wild. They're so out there. They don't do the books justice, but they feel right. They deserve more fucking love. As far as a show that I feel is underrated, it's hard for me to say because there's a lot. The first one that comes to mind for me though is Invincible. Like I know Invincible.
You find that underrated?
Yeah, like I know that there were a lot of people that really like got into it and they got hooked by it and they got a lot of love. I feel like it deserves more love. Like Invincible should be where like because right now the Invincible is kind of just where The Boys landed. Where it's like a lot of people like watched The Boys and they enjoyed it, but there's still a lot of people that have not experienced The Boys yet. They have not watched that show yet because they're just so over superhero shit, not realizing that like The Boys and Invincible are such different superhero experiences that they deserve just as much hype as Marvel is getting in a lot of aspects. Not
now, do you think that's a product of their platform, Amazon Prime?
That could be it. I could definitely see like where that could like funnel people out. Where people not everyone has Amazon Prime, so like they're and not everybody is on Amazon Video specifically. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see Invincible specifically not getting as much love as it deserved because it's animated, and I think a lot of people hesitate to latch onto animated shows because they think, oh, it's animated, it's for kids. Not realizing the kind of world that we live in now, where a lot of animated content is super fucked up and not for kids whatsoever. But that's historically been an issue with that. But I think those are the kind of the ones that I'll latch onto. Did that bring up any bells for you off the top of your head?
Actually, it did. So I wanted to pick on one show that I find highly underrated, it's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did, because if you, and even still to this day, there's still, because it ended earlier this year, but Kim's Convenience, you can watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
It is a sitcom, Canadian sitcom, with the main character for Shang-Chi, Simu Liu. He plays a character in that show, and it was such a good show. It was such a good sitcom, in the sense that it was a breath of fresh air, because it was a sitcom that focused on this Korean Canadian family, and kind of like the dynamic between, you know, you have the mother and the father of the family, you know, their first generation coming to Canada, establishing a convenience store and trying to, you know, give their kids the best life, but while also kind of touching on kind of like the stereotypical like nuances of an Asian family growing up, like you know, you have the strict Korean dad, and then like, you know, the strict mother and stuff like that. And so there's as an Asian American, I kind of picked up on a little bit of that stuff, and I was just like, ah, yep, I remember growing up with that shit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But it was a perfect blend of comedy and drama. To the point where there's, like, you know, a lot of sitcoms, they end up finding themselves in these crazy situations where it's a little bit, you know, unorthodox, a little bit too much. Like, that would never fucking happen. But in this show, you could easily see, oh yeah, I could probably see myself in a situation like that. Like, that could really fucking happen. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah, you could see that happening. But the worst part was that it did end abruptly. The whole series ended abruptly as they had writers leave. And there was some potential, not necessarily a hostile work environment, but kind of uneasy work environment kind of nods. And then there was mention of some of the writers that had stayed on were throwing out the idea that they might start a spin-off with the only white main character.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that definitely didn't sit well with a lot of the cast members and a lot of the viewers. So yeah, but it is kind of funny. I wanted to bring it up because in the final season, there's a moment where Simu Liu's character, if you're following with Shang-Chi, he's filming for Shang-Chi, but they wrote it in so that, you know, he's away for like doing college classes, and he'll like show up in like a video chat or something like that. So I thought that was funny. And then the most recent teaser trailer for Shang-Chi opens up with a running gag from Kim's Convenience. Where throughout the series, there'll be random moments where Simu Liu's character doesn't have his shirt on, and then someone would ask like, "Dude, what happened to your shirt?" And he just shrug and walk off, like no big deal. And that was a running gag in the show. And the most recent Shang-Chi trailer actually opens up with that, where Awkwafina goes, "What happened to your shirt?" And he's just like,
okay, that's dope. That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
I love that so damn much, dude. Well, I think the last thing, really, because that kind of rung a bell for me, the last one that I want to talk about just very briefly is Sweet Tooth. Everyone needs to fucking watch Sweet Tooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that, but I still have yet to get around to that.
Yeah, dude, worth every fucking second of that show. That show is such a tearjerker, such a just emotional roller coaster from the first episode to the last of the first season. It's just incredible show. That one needs so much damn love. But we also give love to all the things that we do, and we love ourselves. And I'm glad that we got to have you, Xander. For people at home that want to find you, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/ITSXNDR. That's It's Xander. I stream there usually every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. On Mondays, I like to have a little bit of my own little talk show called Jam Sessions, where I invite either content creators, most recently, did content creators of seemingly different musical influences and backgrounds, and we try and find the common ground. And the rest of the time, I just do variety streaming. If you caught me last night, I was shirtless and in a hot tub, quote unquote. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch. I'm also on YouTube under the Box Network, where we do a talk show. I'm also on Twitter at ITSXNDR, and on Instagram at itsxander.tv. That's where you can find me in and all my stupid little shit that I.
Oh man, if you need even more stupid shit, we are glad to have you. We're glad to have everyone to come in here and do the stupid little shit with us, because this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, a show for nerdy marginalized peoples, giving you the video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/GoodKrakenShow. If you enjoy the show, you can support us by subscribing below, going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the About section of our Twitch channel, clicking that bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other.